Hello there and welcome to this video. This is a follow-up video for everyone who took up the Python series, and it is meant to guide you to come up with a simple Python project so that you will be able to graduate with us and get your certificate in the next few days. So, first of all, I want to congratulate all of you for making it up to the end, because if you're watching this, you should probably have finished all the episodes that we have been covering, and you've made it this far. And yeah, it is not something we can take as simple. You put in much effort, so congratulations to you upon that. But you still have one more task to go, and that is to come up with that simple project in order to seal this and move on to the next level. So, in one of my last videos, I created this simple club manager app. I told you you can progress with this and improve it to come up with a mobile app, as a game which is a mobile app or something like that. But this is just at the beginner level. So I've tried to improve a few things, and I'm going to try to simulate some of those things here so that you can also follow up and you see how you can implement the same concepts and come up with the simple projects. So at the end of this video, I'll demonstrate for you I'll show you some simple projects that you can do, that you can try to implement for you to come to finish this course. So for this case, this is a club manager app, which is simply having two classes. We have a class called club, like you see it here. Okay, this is a class. You must have covered our series up to classes and objects. But when you reach there, you know that you have to create a class, and from that class, you can create various objects from it. So this is a class club that we have created, and we shall be able to use it to create different objects of club from this class. So a club has a name, it has some points. So when you don't give points, we assume it has 0. Maybe the season is just beginning, and the position, we assume it is 0 at the beginning. So whichever club or object club that you create will have this by default. Then it has a few methods. We have defined the method update points to be used for updating the club's points after every match day. So whenever the team plays a certain match, you have to call this method to come and update its points. Maybe it had 20 points, you need to update it. Maybe it has gotten a win. You can see all this is defined here. In update points, if the team has gotten a win on a particular match day, it means you add 3 to the points which it had. If it is getting a draw, you add 1 to the points it had. If it is a loss, you don't do anything because you don't add anything. Okay, so that is the method for updating the team's points from what you created it with. Then we have a method set position for setting the club's position. And then we have display info. This method just displays the information for the club that you've created. We're going to see how all this in action, or we can even see that right about now. Let's try to create some objects from our class here. We said the classes and objects concept helps you to create a class, and from that class, you can create various objects which have the same characteristics as defined in that class. So whichever club I'm going to create down here, it will have to have a name, it should have points, and it should have a position. So those are the attributes that every club I create from this class should have. So I'll come down here and say I want to implement this class now. Let me create club one, and I'm creating this club one is the object. I'm creating it from the class club. Then you see now these attributes are coming here whenever I put this class name here in the correct form and I put the brackets, it will open that, show me that I should give it a name. I should give it points. If I don't give it, it will automatically be given 0. Then I should give it position. Otherwise, it will be given 0. So I'll give it a name here. Okay, let me give it a name. Maybe Arsenal. I'll give it a name, Arsenal. Let me give it points, maybe 13. Let me give it position. Maybe it is third. So that is that. Then I can create another club from this. So let me just copy this. Let me just copy this to avoid repetition. Then I paste it here. This would be called club 2. Club 2. And it can be called Man United. And it has 10 points. And it is, okay, this is second. Let me make this first, but I don't confuse us. Then, and the next club is in the third place, and it has 8 points. It has 8 points, and it is Man City. That's Man City in the third place with 8 points, and it is club 3. Then I can go ahead and create another club, which is in the fourth place, and it has 7. Let me see. Can give it like 5 points. That is Chelsea. Okay. That's okay. It is club 4. Club 4. These objects, you can give them any name. Club 1, club 2, you can give them any name. Me, I've just decided to use that. And then club 5. Let me stop on this one. This is in the position 5, and it has 4 points. Then its name is, what can we call this one? Liverpool. That's Liverpool. This is club 5. So I've created 5 objects from the class club. And now let me see if I can try to interact with some of these methods. There is update points, there is set position, there is display info. Let me first work with display info. Maybe I want to display the information for club 1. If I want it to display a message telling me the club's name, the points, the position, excuse me. So I will just say club 1 dot, then I mention the method which I want to use. You can see where the methods displayed here. Display info. Display info doesn't take any argument. That's why you see there's just self. If you only see the word self, it means it's taking no argument. If there's something else besides self, it means it takes some arguments, like you saw this first one. Besides self, there is name, which means when you're creating it, should give it a name, should give it points, and should also give it the position. So when I come here and run this, ignore the code below display info, shall reach it. So you can see it is telling me this is club Arsenal. It has 13 points. It is in position 1. Okay, it can do the same for the other clubs here. Now let me update the points for Arsenal using update points. Update points, when you're calling this method, it takes the result. So when you're calling this method, you should put the argument with which is result for that particular match name. So I'll come here and say club1 dot update points, and then I give it the result. So the result is a win. Now, on the next line, if I now say display info, club1 dot display info, save and run. Okay, you can see the first info it is displaying is for this line 28, and that is before I updated the points, and they were 13 at position 1. But after updating it with the win, the points are now 16, still at position 1. So that is how you work with that. That's how you work with the club. Now, moving on to another class league, because here I've just created the club, but I've not put it under any league. So I've created another class here called league, and is the one where all these clubs should be. So class league, it does not take any parameter, but it has an empty list of clubs also. Up here, I created a list of clubs which do not belong to any league. These clubs here are not belonging to any league. They have their points, maybe they're playing friendlies and so on, but they are not in any league. Then here, I've created a league which does not have clubs. Wow, this is interesting, which means one needs the other. A club needs to be in a league, and a league needs a club. So there is an empty list here of clubs. Whenever you create an object league, automatically has an empty list of clubs, and it is you to add them. So there is a method here to add clubs. When you call this method add club, it just appends the club which you provide here to this league. So when you call add club, you give the club name here, which you used here to create your club, the object name, like club1, club2, club3. That's what you provide here inside the add club method in order to add that club to this league. Append method and so on. We saw some of these things in our series. Then update league table. So update league table does not take any argument. That's why there is only self. So what this method does, it updates the league table by sorting all the clubs according to the points. So the sort method is to sort all the clubs that you provide here, because clubs now is storing clubs. You can see clubs. At first here it was an empty list, but you add there some clubs. So after adding some of those clubs, you should come here and call this method to come and sort those clubs. But how will you sort them? That's why we have lambda x here. Lambda, where you're seeing lambda x and then colon x dot points. This line means that you are going to sort the clubs which are formed in the list clubs according to their points. That's what this line means. Sort is the method for sorting the clubs under this variable clubs, because the clubs will be stored there. So when you say clubs dot sort, it means it will sort the clubs which are stored in the variable clubs basing on what? And then we say key equals to lambda x dot points. This means that you sort those clubs according to their points. I hope this is fine. Then we say reverse equals to true. This means that you will be sorting them in descending order, beginning with the one with the highest points, going down until the one with the lowest points. So that's what that line is doing for sorting the clubs. Then, okay, this is for updating their positions, because after every match day, some teams will lose, others will draw, others will loss will lose. So you need to update their positions. That's what this loop here is doing. It will loop through all the clubs in the variable clubs and then try to update their positions according to the result. So you are saying index plus one because the clubs stored inside clubs, you know that Python has that indexing whereby if you have a list like this, let's assume this is our variable clubs and it is equal to maybe Arsenal, Man United, and so on and so forth. You know that this will be given index 0, this will be given index 1. So that's why we're saying index plus 1. If it is handling Arsenal, it will pick it and then add 1. So that Arsenal will be in position 1 instead of position 0. So that's why we're having that line, club.set position. This set position method, we have it somewhere. So index and then plus 1. Then we have a method for displaying league table. This one will just loop through all the clubs and then display their information, okay, with the position, the points, and so on. So that will be the league table that will be displayed. I hope you've understood how all these methods work. Add clubs is for adding clubs to this league. Update league table is for updating the table after a certain match day, like updating the points and the position. And then lastly, display table is for displaying the table currently. So that is that. I've created a class called league, but I've not created any object from it. So let me create an object, maybe Premier League. I can create an object, Premier League, from. So that is my object's name, and then uh, league is the class. Okay, it does not take anything. So just like that, I've created an object league, but it does not have any club. So even if I come here and say display league table, I don't think it will display anything. When I say Premier League dot display league table, display league table, okay, nothing. You can see league table is nothing. This what you're seeing here, these are the things we printed up there, but they are not under this. So the league table is empty because there is no team added. So let me try to add some teams here. As a matter of fact, let me just cut these teams we created here and put them there. Okay, we don't need to display these. Let me comment them out. Then I want to cut this and put them here. So, okay, but I've done this, but still I've not added these teams to the league, which means what I have to do after creating these all objects from club, I should now add, because you're seeing here, after creating a league, the first thing you do is add clubs, but I've not added any club to it. Although you've seen me pasting those clubs there, but I'm just creating objects for these clubs, but not adding them to the league. That is something different. Let me, I think, try to comment here. What I've done here is creating an instance of my league. I've created an instance of my league or an object of league, that's Premier League. Then that is that. Then after that, what I've done here is creating instances or objects objects. By the way, if you're doing your projects, also comment like this so that you try to explain some of the things you're doing. So I'm creating objects from class club. So after creating that, I now want to add these clubs that I've created to the league, Premier League. So I would say adding the clubs to the created league, in brackets, Premier League. Okay, so I want to add those clubs there. And what do I do? If I want to do that, there's a method add clubs that I should use. The one you're seeing here, this one right over here. So I'll just come and say, where is that? I'll just say to add these clubs, I just mention the club's name, and then I call that method club1 dot add. Okay, club. Wait a minute. How do I call this method? Okay, clubs dot append. Okay, so to add, okay, looks like I did not. Okay, there's an empty list clubs. Then I should do, okay, what I should do, I should call a method called add club. And this method, I'm calling it on the object Premier League. So to add those clubs, I will call object Premier League dot add club. Then I mention the club which I want to add, club1. So club1, which is Arsenal, has been added. To add the others, I do the same. So I would copy, then paste, just change this, copy, and then change this, paste, then change this, paste, and then change that. Finally, club 5. Okay, so these clubs have been added to the league now with their points. Everyone, I created this with 8 points, and 3 was what? Position, then 5 points, fourth position, 4 points, fifth position. So all they have been added to this league with all that information. So if I come here and try to call the method display table, it should be able to display a table now because I've added in some clubs which have come with their information. So I will say Premier League, whenever you want to access any method from a class, you use the object name. So I want to use access the table. I'll say Premier League dot display league table. Display league table. Oh, it's already here, even. It's already here. So let me just run this. You can see it is displaying the table. You have Man United. Okay. We're having Arsenal 13, first position. Man United 10 points, second position. Man City 8 points, third position. Why are we having Man City twice? Okay. There was this logical error here. That's what we call a logical error. Okay, so we've seen that is working perfectly well. Now, we need to interrupt some of these other methods here. Let's assume the team has played a match on a certain match day, and you will need to update those things in the league table. So what will you do? There is update points after a team winning okay, playing a certain match day. So let's assume all these clubs have played. Mm, These clubs are playing a certain match. Okay, let me match day result. Let's assume they have played some few matches. Club one dot dot update points. I want to update its points after it getting. Um, let's give it a draw because we want to see the table changing currently. Okay, okay. Draw is still okay here. Then let's also have club two also playing its game on match day 2. Club 2 dot update points. Club 2 is winning. Then we are having club 3 dot update points. Club 3 is winning. Club 3, this is Man City, it is winning. Remember, it had 8 points. Okay, let's give it a loss because we want to see the table changing somehow. Okay, club 4 dot update points. Club 4 dot update points. This club is winning. Then club 5 dot update points. Okay, even club 5 is winning. Okay. So after that, is there anything we need to do within this class? Set position, display info. Okay. So after this match day, we will need to update the table because there have been some changes which have taken place. So updating the table. So that is what happens in Premier League and other leagues. Whenever a match day happens, those results have to be incorporated in their databases, and the table has to be updated according to those changes in those match days. So I'm updating the table. I want to update the table. So I would say I want to update the table for Premier League. So I would say Premier League dot update league table. So it will update the table according to these results here. Then next time when I say display, first look here, you're seeing Arsenal, it has 13. After a draw, it will have something like 14. Then Man United is having a win, so it should have 13 also. So Arsenal will be having 14 and Arsenal 13. Then Man City, it is having 8 points. After a loss, it will remain on 8 points. And then, okay, I want to simulate something here. Let's make Chelsea lose and Liverpool win so that we see whether the positions change. Okay, so I will make this one lose. So you can create your own league here and you're the one who decides who wins and who loses. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so let's try to update the table and see whether these points will change and the position will change also. Okay, so you have seen here, Arsenal is now having 14 points, Man United now having 13 in position 2, Man City is still in the third position with 8 points. Now Liverpool has jumped from position 4, okay, but it is still having position 4 here. So this needs to be changed because the position changed. Okay, what can we do to that? Let me try to see. Um, update league table, update league table. Okay, this position is supposed to have changed. Supposed to change. It is supposed to change. Yeah, the positions are fine, I think. Liverpool is position 4 and Chelsea is position 5 with 5 points. So you've seen that all these changes are working very well. The points are being updated, the position is being updated, and so on. And this is so you can build from this and you come up with your mobile game. Those football games that you guys normally play. This is the this is where they begin from to build them. So this was just a basic one. I didn't want to include uh, complex functionalities, but this is at a very basic level. Now there is version 2 which I created here, which is a little bit improved. It displays a table a little bit well, but there I had to use some pandas. But in this one, I didn't want to use pandas because I want you guys to use basic basic function things like the functions, like classes and objects, those loops, and so on in your simple projects. But to make it a little bit better, uh, I incorporated in pandas so that it can consider the goals scored, the goals conceded, and it can display a table a little bit better. So I pushed this to my GitHub. If you want to have a look at this, you just go to Macaulay 5 on GitHub and you find it there. So let me display this for you there. And it has even more clubs up to 20. Okay, it has up to 20. It stores match day results like that. You give the team at home and the team on away, and the result, the teams here, the result, and then it displays for you on the table. What else does it do? The clubs are stored here. Okay, this is creating clubs. So I just added in a few things in this. Then here um, I'm evaluating the wins and losses. If the home goal has more goals than the away goals, we count that as a win. If the away team has more points, then we update loss and win and so on. Then, yeah, that is basically that. So let me display this table for you. Okay, it is running. We are going to see it in a little while. Okay, but yours, it should be the one we created. It just displays the thing like this. Man City, it shows the points, the position. Liverpool, it shows the points and the position. Chelsea, the points and the position. But using pandas, pandas gives you those a chance to interact with your data well in a table so that you can try to analyze it well, you try to manipulate it and do a few things with it. And that's the beauty with pandas library, which we also covered by the way. Just check in our Cub AI series, and you'll be able to find pandas there if you didn't take it. So this is the table which is a little bit enhanced. You can see it shows the club's position, shows the points, shows the goals scored, shows the goals scored against, and then it shows the goal difference, and then it shows the what's this? What could be this? I don't know, but it shows you all these details: the points, goals conceded, goals scored, and then the goal difference. I think this is matches played, MP matches played. So this is a little bit better. You can find this code on my GitHub. which is team. Just go to GitHub and write that. Okay, this is capital M. When you go to GitHub and you write that, you find my repository there called Abakamani, and you'll be able to find that. So this is it for now. This is it for now. So there are a few projects here which you can try to create. You can create a student management system. Okay, you can create a program to manage students' records. This system should allow users to add, update, delete, and display students' information, e.g. name, age, grades, and so on. So the skills which you'll be using here, you'll be using lists, dictionaries, file handling, CRUD operations. CRUD operation means create, read, update, delete. Then functions. So you can do this. Then you can create a library book tracker. So here you're developing a program that simulates a library system where users can add books, check out books, return them, and display available books. At that time, you had the library people saying there is a way they lend out books online. So this is the system which they simply use. So you can try to simulate that system with the Python code. Then you can create a quiz game that asks users to a series of questions, record their answers, and calculate the score at the end. Okay, there you're using conditional logic, loops, functions, and handling user input. Then you can create a simple banking system. Okay, I gave you this one some time back, but you can still create it. And this one should allow users to create accounts, deposit money, withdraw, and check their balance. You just be using simple class design. So you should use some classes and objects, then user input, arithmetic operations, and so on. Then you can create a simple contact book. So users can add, edit, delete, and search for their contacts by name. Here you use dictionaries, root operations, file handling, and so on. Then BMI calculator. This one takes BMI means body mass index. Takes users' weight and height as input and calculates their body mass index, and then provides health advice based on the result. Here you use basic arithmetic operations, conditional logic, and user input handling. Then you can also create a unit converter. Okay, this one takes converts units such as temperature, for example, Celsius to Fahrenheit, and then meters to feet, weight, that is kilograms to pounds, and so on, kilogram to meters, and so on. So you can decide to do one of these projects. However, if you choose a project, I'm going to create a form for registering, and you choose a project that you're going to do. However, no two people should do this. Okay, no, for each project, it should be done by maximum of two people, but not in a collaborative way. Everyone doing their own version. For example, you can have two people doing the student management system, but everyone has his own different code, because in programming, you know that we can all do the same thing, but using a different code. So we can have like two people, a maximum of two people doing the same project. And then you submit. I'll give you details of how to submit. You can submit via GitHub. Create a repository on your GitHub. If you don't have a GitHub, you can comment in the WhatsApp group and you'll be helped, or you can contact me personally. So you push your code to GitHub and you share your link in the group. So these are some of the projects that you can create, or you can decide to come up with any other project that is using those basic Python uh, concepts that we've learned in our Cap Python series. Otherwise, that is it for now. My name is Simon, and till next time, bye bye.